Randomly, I will have client or friend ask who the people are that will want to sell or buy when the real estate market is not looking great in a high interest environment. But rather than spitting out the boring market updates, maybe it is more beneficial to give you my perspectives as an active real estate agent in the market when analyzing for clients. And this could give you a much more applicable example. If you are curious and love the real-time analysis for clients that I encounter on a day-to-day basis, then don't miss out right after this. Hey, welcome back to another video on the AV Team Real Estate channel. I'm Antonio and I am a local real estate agent in the GTA. If you have been enjoying the weekly video from this channel, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that it can be shared with more people who want to get updated on the real estate market in Toronto. Greatly appreciate it. If you have any inquiries about the real estate, don't hesitate to contact me via the first link in the description down below. Recently, I had a conversation with a relative who happened to be a contractor for many renovations in the GTA. Interesting enough, he was introduced through a friend who wanted to sell a house for a very unique scenario, while we were also discussing why someone would even consider selling in a high interest market where sellers are selling for much less. Well, this particular seller was a very old man, over 80 years old, and he seems to be hospitalized due to some illness. He was forced to leave his home in East Toronto near Riverdale. This seller was living on his own in this semi-detached home, and he is expecting the doctor to write him a letter to send him to the elder's home where he can be supported by social workers. However, in this current home, it is an unfortunate scene. From my observations, he has no longer lived with any family or relative for quite some time, and the home living condition is barely any good. So what do I mean? Kitchen plumbing and pipes were not working properly, and when I asked for a recommendation from the contractor, he was basically too old to just repair the part that was clogged. But the pipes were so old that they need to run through the entire house to function properly. It's not that the contractor doesn't want to fix the issue, but it is simply too old. And he told me that it seems the house has not been maintained for at least 20 plus years or more. The washroom, tubs, or showers are not working at all. And to fix that, it required at least 2 to 4 people to move the top out in order to replace it. The cost of material and labor could easily be about $10,000, which is something the seller could not afford. On top of that, the shingles of the roof have also never been replaced since the homeowner owned them, and the house could easily be over 20 or 40 plus years. Where I'm getting to is that this house is almost unlivable, and the retired seller can't afford to maintain the house. As soon as he is eligible to go to the senior housing, there will be no one to take care of this house. The challenge is that he can't afford to renovate the house to maximize the house value. Homes like this exist in this market that could sell for much less due to this kind of circumstances. Regardless of the high interest market, this seller could eventually sell for much less since they are only targeting investors, and that typically means they would pay much less since it requires a tons of work to be able to resell it. How much less? I can't disclose the information of the client, but I can give you an idea of how much less it can go with this example. The area of the semi-detached home is in East Toronto near South Riverdale, where I once attended high school. To understand it better, let's take a look at the most recent sales in South Riverdale for all semi-detached homes. So we are back to the realm where most realtor uses nowadays. Let's go through the criteria that we're looking for. So it's Toronto. We are in the Toronto E01 and we are area at South Riverdale. For those that are not familiar with this area, let's go through the map. In South Riverdale, we are just east of Don Valley and along the lakeshore at the bottom here. And the north, we have the Gerard Street east all the way through to Greenwood across Queen, just west of Leslie, and then along the lakeshore. So this part here is South Riverdale. So let's go back to this view at Toronto, South Riverdale, and we are looking at freehold property for sales. Let's go through the past sales data. So it's under unavailable and all the sold that occur on this period. And we are in particular looking for semi-detached home, which is right here, semi-detached. let's get to the main table. Let's sort this out by the sold date. So the most recent in March, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is the most so far. Bear in mind, as of recording right now, we are just in March 25th. So there are 4 or 5 days left in the month. So the data might be even more, but so far we have the most this year in 2024 at 10 sales at the moment for all semi-detached homes in the South Riverdale. For February, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is only 4 in February. In January, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is already in 2023. The average prices here, we can take a look. So in a yearly basis for Toronto, overall, we have a sale price average about 1.6 million and the median price is 1.525. If we take a look at Riverdale, overall, we have sale price average of 1.398, just around 1.4, and then the median price average is 1.38, and this is just overall for the Toronto E01 area. That includes South Riverdale, so it's 1.4. So we can conclude that the South Riverdale average prices is about 1.4 average price. Here we're just taking a look at the semi-detached that we searched earlier. The 10 of them, you can see that most of these prices that were sold in March are above 1 million, 1.3, 1.6, 1.5, even at 2.9, but there is one that sold for way under at 625,000. We will take a look later on why this is such a low price, but let's start off with the most recent at 7 Batch Row Avenue at 1.2. This was listed for 999,500 and sold over asking for 1.2 million. Let's not forget that this listing price is probably way low expectation. They were expecting that the price to be higher because the average pricing was 1.4 that we discussed earlier. This is a 3+1 unit. It is not a big house. It's only 1,100 to 1,500 square feet. Let's take a look at the pictures. It is kind of older homes, and you can see the floor is not updated. It is just a plain ceiling, so the floor again is probably not new. The walls and the color was pretty much outdated. However, all the pictures here are still relatively livable condition. It's just that it's a bit outdated. And the kitchen here, as you can see, the cabinet are quite outdated with the color that doesn't scream out at all, but again, it's still livable. As you can see, the washroom, the ceilings are quite outdated as well, and the floor, they probably need some work. So that's how it looks in this type of house. And the basement is not fully finished, as you can see. So this is the home that sold for 1.2 million. Let's take a look at the lot size, and it is only a 16 by 86 feet for 1,100 to 1,500 square feet. It is a small unit after all. So looking at the property history, this home was probably first sold in 1997. So it might be in the range of 27 years old or a little bit older. So this is the most recent sales, and let's take a look some of the example at 176 Broadview Avenue that sold for 1.391 million. So this was listed for 1.49, so it went under the listing price and sold for 1.391, so 5% less. And why is that? Let's take a look. Right off the bat, you can see the home is brand new, fully renovated with all the new renovation. The back, you can see, is everything upgraded. All the finishes are modernized with the huge glass door to the back, and you can see the floor, ceiling, everything was built from the ground up. Pot lights are everywhere, kitchen lights, everything look like it is brand new built. Here's another look. Appliances are all new. We have all the cabinets matching colors with great wood flooring all throughout. They use great quality faucets and bright large windows. At the dining area, we can see new modernized light fixtures, and they have been greatly staged throughout the unit. So we know that this kind of unit will sell in this environment for much more because it is staged and also fully renovated. That is the reason why this unit was sold particularly in the higher end compared to the average price in the area. So this is a little bit larger than the previous home that sold for 1.2 at 18.4 by 94 feet. and this is the area in Queen and Broadview. So what this tells you, it means that when the house is fully renovated and updated, they can sell as high as close to 1.4 million in the Leslieville, South Riverdale area. So now let's take a look why this unit in the same area sold for 625,000. This was listed for 638,000 and went down to 625,000. And this unit, we can compare that closer to the subject property where the seller has not updated the unit since they own the unit. So it could be 30-40 years without any proper renovation or maintenance. So this could be a good comparison of the seller that I was described earlier in the video. So this is a 2-bed, it's sold just 2 days on the market. So here, this is the exterior. Right off the bat, you can see that it's quite outdated. It's not updated at all. And the entrance, you can see the wall are start cracking and the ceiling are not updated at all. And the floor are in really bad shape. But this is suited for investors that wanted to update this and sell it at a higher price. As you can see earlier, updated homes in this area can still sell for quite a bit. So this home for 625,000 would not be a bad bet if you are a contractor or an investor who knows how to update the unit and turn it around and sell it for a higher price in the future. So everything here is probably need a lot of work. And the basement, it seems like there's a lot of mold they have to deal with the floor, and then the kitchen maybe needs some work as well. So everything must be reworked. Therefore, the price was sold for quite low for this area. As we can see, the lot size is not that much smaller. It's 17, almost 18 by 90, which is quite similar to the previous unit that were sold for 1.3 or even 1.4. So if you are an investor, this could be a good buy if you find one for this price range in the South Riverdale, Leslieville. All the units we see are the most recent sales in March, which could be a good reference for the home that this seller has to offer. If you find this kind of walkthrough and analysis enjoyable and informative, don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing if you haven't done so. Or if you are in the position of investing, I do have this listing available if you are seriously interested in buying the last outdated home in the area and turn that into profit with renovation and updating. I can even help you with the contractors that could work on this particular unit, and a project like that could work out in 4 to 5 months. Anyway, if you need more information, don't hesitate to schedule a call with me using the first link in the description below. Next, if you'd like to check out some of the condos ranking in the area of North York, Richmond Hill, Markham, you can click on the video right here to continue watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.